to other people. Domestic violence is about power and control. It's about one person trying to take power and control over another person. And sometimes it's just because that's what they want to do. It can be the silliest things. It can be if you like a church that you go to and then they decide, we changing churches. Why? Just because. Because you like that church and I don't want you to like nothing, so now we're going to switch up just because I can make you do that. Make children change up and go to different schools, not participate in activities they want to participate. That's one of the reasons that people don't leave. Because if they have children, where are they going with their children? Anybody check the price of rent or mortgage these days? High. And then a lot of times they mess up their credit financially. And so now, not only you may not have the money to go, but now you don't even have the credit. But there are people who are in higher financial brackets that are also victims of domestic violence. And there are people who are abusers that you would least suspect. And a lot of times people will go and talk to their pastor, and the pastor will say, that's your husband, you better stay and do what your husband tells you to do. The Bible said obey your husband, but it didn't say when he's beating you. It didn't say when he's putting you down. The Bible tells a husband to love your wife, the way Christ loved the church. But I'm not going to stand before you long. We do have some information at the table. I thank LaTanya for hosting this tonight to help victims of domestic violence. We have a shelter that people come to. We have a shelter that people come to when they can escape. Sometimes they escape with just the clothes that's on their back, if they even get to put clothes on. And so they're starting totally from scratch, sometimes with children, sometimes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children, and they're trying to start over again. Sometimes they may have a good job, but they can't go back to that job because their abuser knows where they work. And most of the time that abuser has threatened them in some kind of way. If you ever try to leave me, I will kill you. And many have made good on their promises, or at least tried to. On next Thursday, we're having a candlelight vigil for people who have lost their lives to domestic violence. It's going to be held in Spalding County. And we're inviting you to come out. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have different vendors out giving information about support systems. We're going to call out the names of everybody. And sometimes it's not just the victim. Sometimes it's a bystander that has lost their lives to domestic violence. Sometimes they're police officers that has lost their lives. Sometimes they respond to calls and they don't know what they're walking in on. And they end up losing their lives because of it. When someone tells you what's going on, you may think that's crazy. If I was you, I'd fight back. First of all, you don't know what you do in that situation. And most of the time it's done in such a conniving way that sometimes you don't realize what's happening until it's already happened. Sometimes you try to save face to keep your children. You think that they don't know, but the children know what's going on. When I was young, I used to wake up in the middle of the night sometimes to hear my parents fighting. I just thought my parents fought. But now I know that was domestic violence. Family violence is domestic violence. So when somebody shares with you what they're going through, we never tell them to leave. We may tell them, consider leaving, or what do you want to do? Because when a person leaves or after they've left, that's the most dangerous time for that victim. Because that abuser doesn't want them to leave. That abuser doesn't want them to go on with their lives, especially without them. And they will do what they need to do. You've heard the stories of people hunting people down and coming and killing them and killing themselves. So it's a very serious thing. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We share it with breast cancer awareness. And most people are aware of the breast cancer, the pink for breast cancer awareness. But a lot of people are not familiar. It's an uncomfortable topic, domestic violence. It's an uncomfortable. And remember that men can also be victims of domestic violence. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming out and partying with a purpose. I turn this back over to Shatoya.
Today is her birthday. Is it today? Today.